So let's just start by lying down on our backs. And you can bend your knees and plant one of your hands on your abdomen and one hand on your heart space. And all you'll do for these first few moments here is just really allow yourself to land, to notice how the body feels in contact with the floor, to notice the breath as it enters in and out of the body. And I'll continue on that little comment. So the observation that each of you noticed that it was kind of hard to think of something that allows you to open up really reminds me of a story from the Ramayana. And the Ramayana, one of the sacred Hindu texts, basically has to do with Shiva has incarnated as Hanuman's tail, Vishnu was incarnated as Ram, and then of course Lakshmi incarnated as his wife Sati. But in any case, hi Erica. There's a section in it where Hanuman is asked to do this great feat, and he's forgotten his own strength, he's forgotten his own gifts and powers, and it's his friends that remind him of how great he is, of the things that allow him to open up and expand. And literally Hanuman then takes a giant leap across the Indian Ocean to go pick up a mountain. He literally picks up a mountain and then floats back across the ocean to provide this medicinal herb. So I thought it was a kind of a fun little anecdote. And so we'll take 2 more breaths here. And now I want you to consciously breathe into your abdomen here. And you're just focusing on noticing the breath. Inhale and fill the belly, fill the hand underneath the belly, and then exhale, draw the belly in and lightly squeeze the abdominal organs. And so that's going to be our key action today of inhaling, pressing the belly out, and exhaling, drawing it in and back so it comes against the organs and the organs maybe lift up. And I'll just take 2 more like that. Big exhalation draws the belly in, hugging it towards the spine as the abdominals or the organs move. And last one. Awesome sauce. Now from here, let's go ahead and walk our feet so they're hip distance apart. Keep your hands roughly on your torso, push through your feet, lift your hips up, and allow your bum to go to the right. Put your pelvis back down and allow the legs to fall over to the left. Now keep your right hand somewhere on your rib cage. The left hand can be wherever it needs to be. But as you exhale, I want you to squeeze the right ribs, squeeze the right organs right underneath that right hand. And you'll inhale, fill the hand. And then exhale, squeeze the obliques, the organs on this side. And you'll do that 1 more time. And so we're just adding a little bit more awareness on this side of the body. And then go ahead and release that muscular action. In the next 2 breaths, you'll just breathe into the right side body, breathing into your liver, breathing into your colon. And then on your next exhalation, gently release and inhale, come back to center and just notice if you notice anything between the 2 sides before we go to the other side. Just notice if the right side feels a little heavier than the left. And then gently push through the feet, lift the hips, slide your pelvis to the left and let the legs fall over to the right. Let the left hand stay on the left low belly. And then you'll just take a few breaths here. So inhaling into the left ribs and then exhale, really engaging all those muscles on the left side, the obliques, hugging in. And a lot of yoga teachers, they say that we're tonifying the viscera as you do this. So you're toning here the stomach and the spleen and the descending colon. And you're just lightly squeezing in on the exhale and bowing out with the inhale, and then allow that muscular energy to release and just take 2 breath cycles there, letting the breath do the more subtle work of letting go. Letting the breath do the more subtle work of opening up. Awesome sauce. On your next in-breath, go ahead and come back to center and just notice if the right and the left side feel now equal and even between each other. As you breathe in and as you continue to exhale, hug that belly in and up. Awesome sauce. All right, extend your right arm over your head, roll over onto your right side, and make your way onto hands and knees. So we're going to stay with that action of really toning the viscera. So Erica, our theme for today is what are the things that allow us to open up? So we'll find how this goes just for a moment. And so once you find yourself on hands and knees, I want you to just round your spine as you would in a cat pose exhale. At the top of the exhalation, lightly squeeze your abdominals and pull them in. And then inhale, just come to a cow shape. And we'll do that a few more times. Exhale, round through the spine, squeeze the abdominals, pull them in and up. And then start to release the abdominals. Inhale, come into a cow shape, and now squeeze the muscles behind you, so the adrenals and the kidneys. And you'll do that about 3 to 4 more times. So you exhale, really draw the abdomens in and up, the hip bones towards each other. And then as you inhale, pull the heart forward and through, lightly squeeze the muscles on the back of your body to tone the kidneys and the adrenals. Awesome sauce. And so we're working towards today agni sara. Agni sara is one of the more advanced postures because it's very subtle, but it depends on this abdominal squeezing action. So make sure every time you go into cat pose, you're really pulling everything in and up and really hugging and squeezing everything in so that there's no breath there. Yep. And then inhaling, coming back. Nice job. And then on your next exhalation, just hold there for a breath. Holding the breath out, really seeing if you can hug hip bones together, pull the belly up a little bit more. And then when you need to, you'll inhale back to a neutral spine. Draw your knees, ankles, and shins together. And then start to press your butt back towards your heels and continue to look forward towards your hands. From here, start to walk your hands forward. And then notice if you can allow the belly to drop onto the thighs, allow the ears to come in between the arms and the forehead towards the floor. And you might choose to lift the heels of the hands away from the floor, lift the elbows away from the floor, lift the armpits up and away from the floor, but continue to push the fingers down and forward, the hips down and back. And now in this position, I want you to continue to breathe into your abdomen, noticing that you can't because of the thighs, but that sends breath into the back. And then exhaling, drawing the belly in and up, sinking the hips a little bit lower. And you'll just take 2 more breath cycles like this. So Agni Sara is considered to be one of the most healing things a practitioner can do. Even if you don't do anything else in your asana practice, if you do this, it's supposed to, help with immunity. It's supposed to help clear the mind. It's supposed to help build up burn off any of the things you no longer need to keep. But it really focuses on this abdominal pulling in and up. So as you take this last breath cycle here, just notice how much you can really pull the abdomen in and up, sink the sit bones down, and find a little lift in the abdomen as you pull it, drawing those organs in. Awesome sauce. All right, let's go ahead and inhale and come forward onto hands and knees. Your choice, you can tuck both sets of toes under and press your pelvis back towards your heels and come up to sit for toe squat, or just simply sit on the tops of your shins. And then from here, go ahead and reach your left arm up. Take your right hand to the outside edge of the left arm, and then internally, or rather externally, rotate the arm. Bend your left elbow and grab your left elbow with your right hand. Now, as you continue to do all the stuff we normally do of pushing the left elbow out to the left, pulling it into the right, I want you to keep focusing on your belly. So the inhale can send the belly forward, and the exhale can draw it in. And notice now that you might feel Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, start to lift. We'll see if we can keep that. So inhale, belly extends out, maybe ribs widen, and exhale, low belly draws in, pelvic floor lifts and tones, tailbone descends. And one more. Inhale, big belly breath. Exhale, navel draws in, pelvic floor lifts, tailbone descends. Awesome sauce. All right. Next in breath, reach up through your right arm, reach up through your left, and then switch sides. So left hand comes to the outside edge of the right arm, externally rotate the arm, bend the right elbow, and grab the right elbow with the left hand. Now, as you continue to do all those things of pushing the right elbow to the right and pulling it into the left, press your head straight back so it's on the center, yep, of your skull, and lift your chin parallel to the floor. There we go. And then just breathe into the abdomen, noticing how you can start to pull that energy in and up. And it might find even a lengthening down the back body coincidentally, but you're just paying attention to what the abdomen is doing. You've got your last breath cycle here. And then on your next in breath, reach up through your left arm, reach up through your right. Both arms open out, come forward, hands and knees. Happy day, pitter patter your toes if you were in toe squat. And or conversely, shift your weight back and take a counter stretch. And then as you're ready, you'll find yourself forward onto hands and knees. Okay, we're going to take 4 cycles of chakra vikrasana. So make sure your feet are about hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. Inhale, gaze forward between your hands. As you exhale, draw the belly in, push your butt back to your heels, bend your elbows, modified child's pose. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. As you exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Great. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. And then exhale, press back to that modified child's pose. So that counts as 1 set. So go ahead and do another 3 on your own. And I encourage you to try to lengthen the breath. So it's about a 5 count inhalation, followed by a 5 count exhalation. And if that feels like a steady rhythm for you as you continue to just move through the shapes, you'll go ahead and stay at 5 counts. If you'd like to extend it a bit longer, by all means, go ahead and do that. And then just as you continue to do this, your chief task is to just coordinate the breath with the movement. So as long as it takes you to move into one position is as long as the breath lasts. As long as the breath lasts, as long as it takes you to move into the position. Awesome sauce. And then maybe you stay at the breath pace you were at, or maybe you start to extend it a little longer. So maybe you're at a 7 count inhalation followed by a 7 count exhalation. Awesome sauce. And you'll go ahead and complete whatever set you're on now. And then the next time you find yourself in downward facing dog, you'll just stay there. Great. Now, once you find yourself in downward facing dog, take the first few breaths to just fidget around in whatever way feels best to you. You might simply twist a little bit. You might bend one knee and another. You might just pedal the legs back, reaching the heels towards the floor, but you're just allowing yourself to explore and notice what you notice. In paying attention to the things that open us up, I can't speak for any of you, but I do know that for me, it's the things that are most unexpected. There are things that we have our opinions about, but it's often the things that are very unexpected that allow us to grow the most, that allow us to see the best possible versions of ourselves, which is probably why a lot of people enjoy being parents and why a lot of people enjoy challenging jobs that allow them to do things that are of purpose and service. And then once you're moving around, let's go ahead and come to stillness. And I want you to focus now on just your abdominal breathing. So again, you'll inhale and the breath will pass through the chest, through the ribs, and into the abdominal, and it'll inflate like a balloon. And then as you exhale, it's the belly that draws in and up towards your heart. The ribs will soften and the chest will melt. And you'll just do 2 more like that. So the breath comes in through the nose, obviously. It lifts the chest, it widens the ribs, it inflates your abdomen like a balloon. And then exhale, drawing the belly button in and actively pulling that in as much as you can. Really active bellies. Awesome. Thoughts, and just one more. Awesome sauce. Go ahead and bend your knees and crawl back towards your feet. Now, once you're at the back of your space, widen your feet at least hip distance apart, outer hip distance apart. You might even want to make them go a little bit wider. It's totally depending upon you. Next, in breath, start to slide your hands up your shins until they rest on your thighs above your knees. And then you're going to bend your knees like this is really awkward, but like you're just popping a squat because you're camping and you don't want your butt to touch nature. I don't know if you pee like this. Probably nobody pees like this, but you're going to pretend like you're peeing like this. Okay. And as the prep for agni sara, we're just going back to those cats and cows. So you're going to exhale and you're drawing the abdomen in and really squeezing it. And then you're inhaling, releasing the abdomen, lowering the pelvis, arching the spine. So you'll notice that your cats and cows are a little bit different here. And you can really push through the feet as you pull the abdomen in. And you're just noticing what you notice. So this is the prep for this. And we're really just drawing the hip bones together, the abdomen in, the belly lifts. And then releasing the top of the abdomen, lowering the spine. Awesome sauce. All right. On your next exhalation, just go ahead and hold there for a moment. Push down into the arms, really squeeze the abdomen in and out, chin towards your chest. And then you'll inhale, release that. Go ahead and straighten the legs, come up to stand and just pause and notice what you notice. Okay, and we're going to add on before we come back to that. So walk your feet so they're a little bit more narrow, Erica, but they're still wider than your hips. Hands will come through heart center. And then inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, ardha uttanasana. And then exhale, fold all the way in. Bend your knees, inhale, crawl out to plank pose. As you exhale, pause here. You've got 3 breath cycles. Again, inhale, fill that belly, allow it to distend. And then exhale, really hug it in, pull it in and up. One more time, inhale, big belly breath in. Exhale, hug it in, pull it up. Last one, inhale, big belly breath in. Exhale, pull it in and up. Nice job. Next in-breath, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, lower all the way down. You might need to slide your hands back so they're alongside your lowest ribs. And then you'll just inhale, pull yourself to a baby cobra. Yep. And then exhale, you'll lower all the way down. Inhale, press up to a tabletop position. Exhale, round into a cat shape. Happy little Halloween cats. Inhale back to a cow shape. And exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome sauce. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, bend your knees and crawl back to your feet. Slight variation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stay here. Draw your hands to your hips. Inhale, bend your knees, reach your heart and sternum forward. Yep. As you exhale, scoop that belly in, and next in-breath, sit for chair pose. Bend your knees. You can keep hands at hips or reach arms alongside your ears, but you got 3 breaths. Continue to sit low into your feet, or low into your hips. Continue to breathe into the belly, and then exhale, drawing it in and up. Nice job. Next in-breath, reach up, look up, stand up. And exhale, hands back through heart center. All right, 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, ardha uttanasana. Exhale, scoop the belly and fold all the way in. Inhale, crawl yourself forward into plank pose. Exhale, scoop that belly and hug it all the way into your spine. This time, inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower all the way down. Belly draws in, head stays lifted. Slide the hands back. Inhale, pull the heart forward and through, cobra. And exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, hands and knees, tabletop position. Exhale, round through the spine, cat shape. Belly draws in. Inhale, come into the cow shape, squeeze the back muscles of the back body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in here. Take a big breath out. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, crawl back towards your feet. As you inhale, lift the spine parallel to the floor. As you exhale, hands to your hips. Bend your knees, reach your crown forward, draw the shoulders onto the back, elbows back, yep. And the next in-breath, sit for chair pose. Maybe arms reach up, maybe hands stay at hips, whatever works for you. Take 2 breath cycles here. How can you root down into your legs but lift up through your arms? And how can you continue to notice what's happening in your belly? So our agni, sara, it helps us get into what's rudrani. Rudrani is the active energy that we have our potential to really do all the things that enliven us. Next in-breath, stand up, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, last set, last time. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold at the hips, uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, ardha uttanasana. Exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, crawl yourselves forward into plank pose. Exhale, scoop the belly. Yep. Inhale, shift the weight forward. And exhale, lower in one piece. Slide your hands back and inhale, pull up and forward, maybe cobra or up dog, your choice. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, round into cat shape. Inhale, little cow. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles this time. Just breathe into the belly, noticing how you can send it forward and how you can pull it back. That's going to become really important in just a moment. So really breathing into the belly and really pulling it in and back. Really breathing into the belly and really pulling it in and back. And last one, really breathing into the belly and exhaling, pulling it in and back. Awesome sauce. Go ahead and bend your knees and start to crawl your hands back towards your feet. Now, once you're here, I want you to separate your feet probably as wide as your mat. And then just as we did before, you'll start to walk your hands up your thighs and lock out your arms. Okay, now in this shape, this is going to sound really weird, but you're going to shift your weight over to your right side. As you exhale, squeeze just the right side, draw your center or your abdomen back to center, and then inhale, release, go back to the right side, squeeze the abdominal just on your right side, come back through center on empty, inhale, release. And you've got 2 more of those. You're just going, and we're doing half of that abdominal squeeze. Coming back through center. And so the spine stays really super rounded as you're rounding in just on the right side. And we've got 1 more. Shifting the weight to the right, squeezing the muscles just on the right side, holding them, coming back to center and releasing. And then just stay in center this time. Go ahead and stand tall and just notice if you notice anything different between the right and the left side. And you're focusing on just breathing into your bellies. Okay, and then we're going to bend our knees and try that 1 more time on the other side. So your weight shifts to the left. You squeeze the muscles just on the left side. Your tailbone curls under, the hip bones draw under. You shift back to the center, holding that contraction. Release the contraction, and then go back to the left, exhaling, drawing everything in, squeezing just on the left side. Coming back through center, releasing that. And you've got 2 more on your own. And it really helps if you really around around the whole back. It's like you're, I don't know, a gargoyle or something. And it's just happening in the abdomen. Awesome sauce. And this should be our last set. Great. And then now you're in center. Go ahead and pause here. And I want you to just notice what it feels like to do both at the same time. So you'll exhale and squeeze, rounding through the abdomen, rounding through the spine, contracting the abdomen rather, and then just releasing that. And then again, contracting the abdomen, rounding the spine. It feels like the tailbone tucks under, the back of the spine lengthens. And then release that. And last time, contracting the abdomen, rounding the tailbone down, drawing the organs in and up, and releasing that. And then go ahead and stand tall. Lower your chin to your chest just a little bit if you feel dizzy, and you're just going to pause and breathe and just notice what you feel in the abdominal region. Awesome sauce. Okay, go ahead and turn to face the side of your mat. I encourage you to put a block towards the top of your mat and the back of your mat, just for kicks and giggles. And then you'll start by separating your feet about 3 feet apart. And we'll go to our right first. So turn your right toes to face the back edge of your mat. Turn your left toes to face the right, turning that left heel out, the right toes in. And then make sure you've got enough space between your legs for triangle pose, because that's where we're going. And then go ahead and open out both arms so they're parallel to the floor. Turn your palms to face up. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out, gathering the energy in through the center of your spine, the center of the legs, center of your core. Next in breath, reach out through your right arm so far that the right hand comes down to the shin, block, or floor. Awesome. Exhale, lower that left arm so it's alongside your left hip and keep it there. So it's just parallel to your body. Inhale, sweep it forward along the horizon. And then exhale, sweep it back along the horizon. Keep your spine this way. Inhale, lift the right arm first before you come all the way up to vertical. And we'll try that again. Exhale, reach forward through the right hand, lowering the right fingers to the shin, block, or floor. Inhale, sweep your left arm along the horizon so it's alongside your ears. Exhale, sweep the arm straight back. Inhale, lift the right arm so it's parallel to the floor first before you bring the spine all the way up to vertical. And then exhale, repeat this 2 more times. So reach out through the right hand, lowering it to the shin, block, or floor. Inhale, sweep your left arm along the horizon. And exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, lift the right arm parallel to the floor, come all the way up. Yep. And last set, exhale, reach out through your right fingers, lowering the hand to the shin, block, or floor. Inhale, sweep your left arm alongside your ears. And exhale, sweep it back. Slight variation. Sweep the left arm forward 1 more time. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So maybe you keep the left arm alongside your ears. Maybe you reach the left arm up towards the sky. Ooh, but I want you to just focus on paying attention to your breath. Paying attention to the breath in the belly. Can you breathe into the abdomen and out of the belly? Awesome sauce. If the arm is up to the sky, go ahead and reach it back alongside your ears. Exhale, swim the arm back alongside your hip. Inhale, lift the right arm first and then come all the way back up to stand. Lower your arms alongside your hips, turn your feet so they're parallel, and just pause and notice if you notice anything between the sides. And then as you're ready, we'll go ahead and switch sides. So turn your left toes to face the top of your space. Turn the right toes in, the right heel out. Open both arms parallel to the floor. Palms face up. And first things first is energize the spine. So lift up through the head, out through the fingers, down through the legs. And as you exhale, reach forward, out and down through that left hand, lowering it down to shin block or floor. Inhale, sweep your right arm along the horizon and alongside your ears. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, left arm lifts first, spine parallel to the floor, and come back up. And then exhale, reach forward, out and down. And you've got 4 sets of this on this side. And I encourage you to just notice the breath. So when we start to work with some things like agni, sara, and maha mudra, and all these other shapes that are intended to help us get deeper into our pranic field so we can get deeper into our meditation, they require a more subtle awareness. And I think that in many respects, the things that open us up to the greater forces of life often require our subtle awareness. I know that for me, dance was one of those things that really did that to me. It connected me in a way to not only my body, but my breath, but also artistry and other people in a way that was just very surreal. And yet also completely ordinary at the same time. Okay, the next time your left arm is down and your right arm is alongside your ears, let's just go ahead and stay there for 4 breath cycles. Yep. And maybe your top arm goes up to the sky, maybe it stays alongside your ears, but you're breathing into the abdomen and you're noticing what's happening here. From a tantric perspective, they talk a lot about the abdomen because this is our source of healing and renewal, but it's also our source of power and courage and strength. So we're allowing ourselves to really notice what's happening in our abdomen and our core. All right, if the hand is up to the sky, sweep it alongside your ears. And then next exhale, swim it back. Inhale, lift the left arm up, come back up. Lower both arms down. Turn your feet in so they're parallel to the short edges of your mat. And pause and just notice what you notice. Okay. And then from here, we'll go back to the right side. So turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out. I encourage you having your blocks probably behind you just a bit because it'll be easier in just a second. Yep. And then from here, both arms are open. Turn your palms to face up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, reach out through your right hand, lowering the right hand to the block or floor behind you. Go ahead and draw your left hand to your left hip. Look down at your right foot, bend your right knee. Start to walk your right hand forward and to the right. So it's behind the right foot. Shift your weight forward, lift your left leg up parallel to the floor. Flex through that back foot. Yep, stack the left shoulder on top of the right, and maybe you lift your left arm up towards the sky. And you're just pausing and you're breathing. And then very gently, left hand comes back to left hip. Look down towards the right foot, bend the right knee. Step the left foot back, come back to that triangle pose. So the right hand slides back behind you. Go ahead and lift your right arm, or rather your left arm up to the sky. Reach it alongside your ear. Swim it back alongside your hip. I know, so much movement. Lift your right arm parallel to the floor. Come all the way back up. Lower the hands and turn both feet parallel. Great. We'll try all that to the other side. So make sure the block is behind you. Turn your right toes in, your left toes out. Reach both arms out so they're parallel to the floor. Palms face up. And on your next exhale, you reach out through the left arm, lowering the left hand behind you to the block or floor. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Go ahead and look down at the bottom foot. So your left foot, bend your left knee, crawl your left hand forward into the left, shift your weight forward, lift your back leg up parallel to the floor. Flex through the back foot a lot. Maybe stack your right shoulder on top of your left and maybe float your right arm up towards the sky. Yep, nice job, guys. And then when you're ready, you look down to your left foot, bend your left knee, step the right foot long and back, crawl the left hand back, coming back to that triangle shape. Yep, from here you might just extend your right arm up to the sky, then reach your right arm over your ear, then sweep it along the horizon so it comes back alongside your hips. Yep, lift your left arm first parallel to the floor, and come all the way up to vertical. Turn the foot in, lower both arms, and pause. That was a lot. And notice how you feel. Notice what you notice. All right. Okay, walk your feet in just a bit. And let's pause, actually. Take a moment. Can you guys come to the camera and just give me a thumbs up for this? Do we know what agni sara is? No. Okay. So what we want to do is you want to pay attention to what's happening to the belly. You're going to exhale, hug all the air in. I'm not going to breathe. And then without having any breath in, you pump the belly a few times. Does that make sense? So let's go ahead and try that. So your feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. You bend your knees and your thumbs can face in or out, whatever works for you. But you just start with that part that we started with before. So you do the standing cats and cows. You exhale and you round through the spine. And then you inhale, you lengthen through the spine. And then the next time you exhale and you round through the spine, you'll hold the breath out and then just release the abdomen and draw it in a few times, like you're trying to fan the belly. Yep. And then when you need to take a breath, you'll inhale and release that and come back to that cow shape. And then you'll exhale and round through it again, and you'll take that a few times. And after you've done it 2 or 3 times, you'll just gently release that and you'll stand and you'll just notice what you notice in terms of the belly. Roberta, keep a slight bend in your knees. Yep. And then Sandy and Erica, go ahead and release when you're done and come to stand. Slight bend in your knees and just pay attention to the abdomen. Okay. Let's go ahead and sit down. Do we have any questions about that?
So I had a really hard time keeping the breath fully out when I was moving the belly.
Yep.
I could move the belly, but then I wanted to breathe.
Cool.
So,
So it's basically like Kalabati breathing, but without the breathing.
right. That's
or
what
Bhastrika breathing without the breathing. Yeah.
I don't know what that one is, but okay.
It's the same thing. So Kapalabhati is just exhale. Bhastrika is inhale and exhale. So you're moving the belly on the inhale and the exhale. So Erica, that means that we have to develop your capacity to do that. So even if you just do one and you release it, and then you come out and you do another and you release it and you do another and you release it, that's totally fine.
Okay. The first one was most successful. After that, I kept wanting to breathe.
Cool. So if that's the case, take a breath in between each cycle.
Okay.
Because it takes a while. Like my teacher can sit there and do like 32 rounds. It's really freaking crazy. I can't do that many. I can do like maybe 6 and then I have to do it again. Cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Good questions. All right, let's go ahead and sit down. So the reason that we want to do that is it just helps tone and purify the body. It's also supposed to help release any energetic blockages. Who knows if that's true, but I do know that I feel better after I do the practice for a few days in a row. So we're going to go ahead and sit on a blanket if your hamstrings happen to be pretty tight. And if not, no worries, you can sit on the floor, but extend your legs long, and then you're going to walk your hands back like for some reason you're sitting at a beach as a little kid or as an adult and you're just taking in the sun. So our arms are back and we're like, yep, we're enjoying the sun. Okay, and then go ahead and bend your right knee and start to tone the belly here and rotate the belly towards the right. Now you'll notice that if you squeeze the belly more on the right, your rib cage naturally starts to turn towards the right, and that's good. And then we'll just bring our left arm around our right leg. Keep squeezing the belly on the right side and start to walk your right hand back so it's closer to your butt. Now flex through your left foot a lot. Hug that right knee in with your left arm. And as you're here for these next 3 to 5 breaths, I really want you to breathe into your belly. It sounds really weird. It's going to be constricted. And then exhale, squeeze the belly, pull it in, and see if you can rotate a little bit more towards the right. So inhale, distend the belly, breathing into the belly, noticing the constriction by the leg. And then exhale, drawing it in and noticing if that allows you to rotate a little bit more towards your right. One more time, big breath in. And exhale, squeeze it in and rotate towards the right. Awesome sauce. Last breath cycle here. Keep that left foot active. And then very gently, you'll release the left arm, extend the right leg forward, lean back, and just notice if you notice anything different between the sides. Great. And then we'll go ahead and try the other side. So slide your left leg in. Take a big breath in and then exhale, squeeze the belly just on the left side, start to rotate towards the left. And then you'll swim your right arm around your left leg. Walk your left hand so it's closer to your butt. And then you've got about 3 to 5 breaths here, just inhaling, pressing into the belly, and then exhale, squeezing the belly and rotating more towards the left. And you're just noticing what you notice. Belly breathes in. Exhale, draws it out. Two more. Awesome sauce. I'm going to go ahead and come back to center. Extend both legs long. Sit tall this time and just notice how it feels to sit now. And again, your awareness still stays in our abdomen, your abdomen. And then gently, let's go ahead and lie down on your backs. And last little thing here, go ahead and bend both knees. Bring your hands alongside your hips. And then draw your knees into your chest. And as best as you can, keep your arms outside of your legs, but grab your big toes. Arms outside of your legs, but grab your big toes. I know, so awkward. Yep. Now inhale, you'll start to straighten your legs as much as you can towards the sky. As you exhale, open your legs out as wide as they'll go. Inhale, draw the legs back towards each other. And exhale, bend the knees once again. You'll do that about 4 times. So inhale, legs reach up. Exhale, legs open wide. Inhale, legs draw together. And exhale, knees hug into chest. 2 more on your own. And you're noticing if you can keep the back of your neck long, especially when you straighten your legs. You might need to tuck the chin to the chest just a little bit as you do that. Last set. Awesome sauce. This next time that you go ahead and extend your legs up towards the sky, let's just go ahead and pause. Keep your arms as straight as they can be. Press out through your big toes. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Chin slightly tucks into chest, so back of neck stays long. And you're just breathing into your abdomen, noticing if this feels like a fun shape. And even if it doesn't, just notice where you notice sensation. You can choose to stay here or open your legs out wide, right to left. And again, you're breathing into the abdomen, noticing if you need to adjust the head so that the collarbones stay open and wide, the front of the neck and the back of the neck stays long. You're pressing out through your heels. Yep. And then very gently, you'll inhale and draw the legs back together. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a happy little hug. And maybe you rock a little bit right to left. Maybe you don't. Okay. And then very gently, you'll release your feet down onto the floor. Widen your feet outside of your hips. Let your knees knock in. Plant a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. And then you'll just breathe and notice what you notice. Now, as you're checking in right now, the whole reason that we want to access the abdominal region is so that we can use our energy, so it's the most useful, so that we can open into life in the ways that expand and uplift us. And so as you're checking in with yourself right now, I encourage you to notice what things feel like they might feel really awesome to you. And then go ahead and allow yourself to explore those shapes or that shape. The final shape that I would like us all to eventually meet at is Supta Baddha Konasana, using the blocks and the blankets. So allow yourself to explore whatever other things feel like might be really awesome to do before that. And then once you feel complete, let's start to make our way to our final resting pose. Okay, as we settle into our final shape, we'll do a variation of box breath. So I'd like you to just take a few normal breaths, letting the breath exit the body and letting it enter the body in whatever way feels best. to you so that you can feel like you can relax in this shape. And then when you're ready, we'll start to shape the breath in the following way. So you'll inhale for a count of 4. You'll exhale for a count of 4. And you'll hold the breath out for a count of 4. Then you'll inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. And hold the breath out for a count of 4. And as you work with the breath in this way, I encourage you to notice how you can soften and relax, especially as you're exhaling and especially as you're entering in that to or entering into that retention after the exhale. Notice where you can soften and just allow things to open up, to melt. And you'll go ahead and complete 2 more cycles on your own. Noticing how you can allow that retention, the kumbhaka, after the exhale to become a little bit easier. After this last retention, just allow the breath to return to a normal involuntary pace. And to do that, you might need to take a few catch breaths, as it were. And then from there, just allow the awareness to rest in the abdominal space. So as the body breathes in, you watch the body react to the inhaling breath, especially as it is in the abdominal region. And as the body breathes out, your awareness just stays in the abdomen as you watch the breath leave. As the body breathes in, you watch the breath. And as the body breathes out, you watch the breath. You'll go ahead and stay like this for a few more moments, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Gently release the technique and return your awareness. Begin to allow your awareness to extend so you can become a little bit more aware of your surrounding environment, become more aware of the physical form that you're in, the room that you're in. And when you're ready, you'll allow whatever movement to enter into your physical form that feels really good to you. Start to make your way to your right side. Gently draw yourself to a tall, comfortable seat. Go ahead and elevate your pelvis on something. When you're vertical, just take the opportunity to really set well, planting the hands wherever it allows the heart to open through the gates of the arms, wherever it allows the shoulders to stack over the hips, the ears over the shoulders. And then you'll notice by first bringing the awareness into the hands and really allowing them to drop, to be heavy, the arms. Noticing if you can soften the jaw, soften your eyes, your tongue. And as these things root down, as the pelvis roots down, as the legs and the feet root down, notice if you can find a bit of buoyancy and lift through the spine, through the inner armpits, through the soft palate of the mouth, the ears, and the crown. And then I want you to bring your awareness to where your breath is the most vibrant for you. And for this last minute, you'll just keep your awareness on that point. It might be your stomach, it might be the heart, you might just notice it in the nose. I think that for many of us, or at least myself, the things that allow us to open up the most are the things that require our total presence and attention. Whether that's our relationships that allow us to see things through a new set of eyes, from a different perspective. Whether that's our jobs that enable us to serve and solve new sorts of problems. Or whether that's artistic expression. It's these things that help us open up to something bigger than ourselves. And so as you're here for this last breath or two, I'd like you to say an internal prayer of gratitude for whatever those things might be in your own life. Draw Draw your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Press the palms into each other. Receive the weight of your thumbs into your heart and lift your heart towards your thumbs. The light within me, that openness within me, honors and salutes that light within you, that openness within you. Namaste.